all of the mastery camos,
Black Ops 6 multiplayer gameplay, zombies gameplay, and brand new Warzone gameplay from the new map, and with all of the gameplay mechanics, dark matter returning, and so much more are going to be covered in this video. Essentially, I didn't know what to do for a second video today, so I'm just throwing everything at you and the kitchen sink. We're going to have all of the gameplay, all of the details, and essentially what I'm going to be doing is just showing you the gameplay and explaining to you everything that is new in each of these modes and what we learned today at Call of Duty Next, not just by playing the game like I did, but on top of that, by the information that the developers gave us. So essentially, there's going to be timestamps at each time for multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone, and in each of them, I'm going to give you the details of everything that has changed for all of them. So let's start off with the big one. Mastery camos are coming back in a big way. Now, they didn't go in depth explaining to us what the new camo system in Black Ops 6 is going to be, but they said it is a reinvented camo system, and there is going to be mastery camos in multiplayer, in zombies, and in Warzone as well. 4 mastery camos in each, and you're going to be seeing those on screen right now. They showed them all today, which is absolutely insane. We just don't know what the challenges are going to be for those yet. Now, let's start out with multiplayer, because there is a ton of information here in regards to what is new. First of all, I have all of the information going over the new create a class system, all of the weapons, everything like that already up on the channel. It'll be linked down in the description. Now, let's talk about the other things. So first of all, the one thing that they told us is that in Black Ops 6, there is no such thing as a big map. And what I mean by that is not that there's no ground war mode or anything like that, but rather the biggest size map that they are going to give us in this game is a medium size map. They want constant action, and they have seen over the past games people just tend to flock to these small maps, so that's what they're doing. All of the maps are going to be small to medium size. Now, if you are playing the beta, you are going to be playing Team Deathmatch, Domination, Hardpoint, and a new mode called Kill Order. Kill Order is essentially a Team Deathmatch game with a VIP. If you kill the VIP or the VIP gets kills, you are going to get more points. That's essentially the way that it works. One thing that a lot of people have been asking about is time to kill. The time to kill is going to be, I believe, a little bit longer than Modern Warfare 3, but it is a shorter, just slightly shorter time to kill than Black Ops Cold War. They are really trying to find the sweet spot there. If you saw my video earlier today, one of the things that I talked about is attachments and how attachments have changed within Black Ops 6. And essentially the way that they did it is attachments are more meaningful because they don't really have any of the downsides. So instead of having a rapid fire attachment that, yes, improves the rate of fire, but destroys the recoil on a weapon, that is not the way that it is going to work. And that's going to be in both Black Ops 6 and Warzone. So when you use rapid fire, all it's going to do is improve your fire rate and not make your recoil work. Optics are shared by class, so all of the assault rifles are going to have the same optics, and all of the SMGs are going to have the same optics, and all of the snipers are going to have the same optics. As we've talked about before, there is a dedicated melee slot, and there are 2 melee weapons coming at launch. From what I've seen, it appears to be a combat knife and a baseball bat. So in multiplayer, one new thing that you can do is you can pick someone up and use them as a meat shield. Well, they also told us that when you do that, you can actually talk to that person. You can get cross-team chat, and you can literally tell them, like, I got you now, buddy, you're screwed, and they can actually talk back to you, which is cool attention to detail. If you're wondering about ranked play, it is going to be coming in Season 1. We don't know whether that's the launch of Season 1 or mid-season, but Season 1 ranked play is coming to Black Ops 6. If you're wondering about prestiges, they gave us a lot more information about prestiges. First of all, there is 10 total prestiges, with the 10th prestige being the Master Prestige. There is 1,000 levels in that Master Prestige, and there's some sort of secret reward at level 1,000. They didn't say what it was. Every prestige that you do, you are going to get 1 permanent unlock. So for example, if there's a weapon that you unlock at level like 45 and you want to use that on your next prestige, you can use your permanent unlock token on that. Each prestige is going to have unique blueprints, charms, and more that you can earn for prestiging to incentivize you to actually prestige, because when you do prestige, as we mentioned, it resets all of your unlocks every time you do so. One thing that I found interesting is that each prestige is going to have its own theme. So the example that they gave us is prestige number 1. When you enter prestige 1, the icon that it's going to give you is based off of the World at War zombie. And each prestige is going to be based off of a different Black Ops game, or at the very least a different aspect of a Black Ops game. So for example, Prestige 2 may be based off of Black Ops 1, maybe it's the numbers or something like that. Prestige 3 maybe Black Ops 2, Raul Menendez or something like that. Each prestige is themed based off of a different Black Ops game. Now, as far as other progression elements, weapon progression is going to be kind of classic to what we've seen it in the previous years. They did not tell us how many weapon levels each weapon would have, nor did they mention anything like weapon prestiges. They have updated the camo challenges, as we have talked about. On top of that, there is going to be reticle challenges like we have seen before. So to unlock various different types of reticles, you have to complete challenges. On top of that, Dark Ops is making a return. In other words, hidden challenges that they don't tell us how to do them. We have to find them out for ourselves, and there is going to be daily challenges at launch. Now, the one thing that they did not mention is weekly challenges. You know how we have the weekly challenges that come out every week in Modern Warfare 3, and upon completing them, you get the aftermarket part? There was no mention of anything like that coming into the game. Now, that doesn't mean that it is not coming whatsoever. However, what it does mean is they did not mention it. So that's really all there is to say about that one. Now, if you're wondering my opinions on the game, I'm going to have another video coming out tomorrow that I have more time to put together and actually put my thoughts together about the game, and we will go through my opinion on each and every single one of the modes, what is good, what is bad, everything like that. Now, speaking of which, let's now move into zombies. So as far as zombies goes, we got to play Liberty Falls. So I did not get to play on Terminus Island, so I really don't have too much to say about that map, but we did learn about a bunch of new zombies mechanics. As far as the map, this place takes place within 12 hours of what happens on Terminus Island. So they really are taking place at pretty much the same time. We learned about a new wonder weapon called the Thrustodon M23, and essentially what this is a jet engine. I believe they said that the first time this was brought in was on transit, and it's making a return with a big change. You can suck zombies in, and there's also another mode for it where you can blast zombies away. The only thing that you have to worry about is the weapon itself overheating. The other thing that we learned about is two new-ish mechanics. First of all, the Mega Abominations are making a return on this map, so they're coming back as a new special type of zombies in round-based zombies, so that is going to be insane. On top of that, they told us that they made a bunch of new ways to die, and I know that that sounds weird, but essentially what this means is that depending on where you die on the map, what you die to, there's essentially going to be new death animations, and they said that there is a ton of different ones of them. One thing that you may be wondering about is gobblegums. So they didn't go too in-depth with gobblegums. They said for the most part we know how they work. You can find a gobblegum machine on the map. You can get a new one every single round. Use them at your own volition. But as far as gobblegums earn it as a whole, that was kind of confusing. They essentially said that every round that you play, you have the opportunity to earn a gobblegum. The more rounds you survive, obviously the more likely you are to get them, and I would assume also the more rare the gobblegums would be, because again, the more levels or the more rounds, the more gobblegums, essentially. One interesting thing is that you can change your field upgrade mid-match. So essentially it'll reset the charge on it, but you can switch between field upgrades in the middle of a game. To me, that is pretty interesting, because based off of what you are doing or at what point you are doing maybe an Easter egg, you are going to be able to change the way that you are playing based off of your field upgrade, which is pretty interesting to me. The last thing is the directed mode. So as far as directed mode goes, they talked about how this is going to work. Essentially, it's making you able to do the zombies Easter egg on easy mode. And what I mean by that is it will cap the rounds at 15, and it'll show you each and every step of the Easter egg and how to do it with markers, things along those lines. They told us that that is going to come in Season 1 for both of the new maps coming at launch. The other thing that they mentioned, which I think a lot of people glossed over, is for the rest of the year, they are going to be coming at the Season Reloaded mark, which tells me that every season after Season 1, we are going to be getting a new Zombies map, and then at the Season Reloaded, in other words, a month after the launch of that map, that is when we are going to be getting the directed version of that, and in other words, an easier way of completing the Easter egg, caps out at round 15, and just overall easier to do. So Season 2, in season on, I think we're going to be getting a new zombies map every single season. Now, that is not confirmed. I'm just extrapolating based off of what they told us. So moving over to Area 99, aka New Warzone. So this is a top secret government facility made in the 1950s in the Nevada desert, and it is the birthplace of Nuketown. Don't worry, I will have a video tomorrow going much more in depth with the lore of this map because I think it's one of the cooler things that they've done in a while. The map that we played is a 45-player resurgence map, so think the same type of game as Rebirth Island. But the big thing here is a bunch of mechanics have changed in Warzone, and the build that we were playing is the alpha, and again, I will have a video tomorrow going much more in depth on my opinions on this. So Omni movement is coming to Warzone, and that is what we did indeed play. It is the same as multiplayer, and even to the point where if you have a melee weapon out for your dedicated melee slot, you are able to move in Warzone with infinite attack sprint. There is new perks for movement, and in fact the entire perk system has changed, and wildcards are going to be amongst that you can use on your loadouts. So in other words, there is going to be a way for you to use 8 attachments on your weapons. However, if you do so, you're not going to be able to use overkill, which allows you to use 2 primary weapons. So that's just one way that the new loadout system has changed, but I will get to that in a minute. There's also a better use of zip lines. They will essentially work better. Faster use of stims. Doors in Warzone can be now shot open like they can in multiplayer, so you don't have to run through them or throw a grenade at them or anything like that. And on top of that, there is 2 new score streaks coming, one of which is a care package, the other of which is the sentry gun. That one might be a little bit annoying. They also told us that the Guardian and Mosquito drones are out of Warzone, which is good. Now, moving into perks and how perks are going to work. They didn't explain this very well, and we didn't really get to see this, but from what I understand is you are going to be able to pick 3 perks. There isn't a perk 1 slot, a perk 2 slot, and a perk 3 slot. It's just pick 3 perks, whatever perks that you want. There are 18 total perks, 5 of which are brand new. Now, when you kill an enemy, they are going to drop their perk pack. In other words, you can pick up their perks off of their dead body. So the only way to get perks is via an enemy's perk package, your loadout, or they have confirmed that the specialist perk package is making a return. They just haven't told us how you can actually earn it yet. They said they haven't actually decided how you are going to earn it yet. Again, the build that we were playing for Warzone was an alpha build. The other thing that they announced is lootable perks are coming back. So what I mean by that is, yes, you can pick up your loadout and get 3 perks. But on top of that, as you are looting, you can find additional perks on the ground. The ones that are going to be lootable include Veteran, Dexterity, Tracker, Cold-Blooded, Tempered, Alertness, Shrouded, and Irradiated. So these ones can be picked up off the ground. They also continued to say that these perks will be changing each and every season. So the meta is not just going to change in the way that weapons are updated, but also in the perks that you can find on the ground, and that should change up the meta as a whole. Another big thing is backpacks are gone. I think a lot of people will be very happy about that. So the new inventory system is actually the old inventory system, the one that we had at the very beginning in Verdansk, where you can just kind of pick up your individual items and you'll have a slot, for example, for AR ammo, for sniper ammo, for grenades, for tacticals, each and every one. There is not a backpack like we saw before. Now, you may be wondering about how you can get more armor and hold more armor like you can currently in Warzone. That is via satchels. There is 2 new types of satchels, one that expands the amount of armor that you can carry and one that expands the amount of ammo that you can carry as well. There is a ton of quality of life improvements to the point where I couldn't even write them down. They threw up a slide and I believe there was like 15 to 20 various different quality of life changes, and there was a lot of them. There was so many of them that we will have to talk about that later on when I make a separate video about Warzone, which again should be going live tomorrow because this map is so cool. I don't know how they haven't thought about this before, but essentially this map is the origin story of Nuketown. So again, we will be going over that one tomorrow. Another thing that you may be wondering about is Battle Royale ranked. So that is something that has been teased for a very long time. In other words, big map ranked. In other words, not the map that we are playing on here. They said mid-season 1 is when Battle Royale ranked will be released. So in other words, that is when you can look forward to playing that. Now, I don't know what that means for a new big map or when that will be happening, but that is essentially all that they have said. The other thing that they confirmed is post-launch support. Now, they didn't go in huge depth with this, and this kind of encapsulates all modes. This encapsulates Battle Royale or Warzone. It encapsulates multiplayer and zombies. Post-launch support is going to be big, just like it was this year. They have confirmed that when the game launches, they want it set and good right away, but they're also going to be adding things like, for example, score streaks. More score streaks will be added post-launch. I would assume potentially more perks, things along those lines, more weapons, attachments. And I'll be interested to see, again, what they do with weekly challenges, weekly events, because I think that was a big success that they launched this year in all modes, and there was no mention as to whether or not those will be returning. So, I think that summarizes it. All of like the new stuff in all of the various different modes. Again, I just wanted to put it all out for you there. My personal favorite thing is we are getting Mastery Camos in Warzone. We are getting Mastery Camos in multiplayer and in zombies, and they all look absolutely amazing. We just don't know how they work yet. And as soon as we do, as soon as we get more information on that, I will have a video out for you guys explaining how all of the camos are going to work, what the challenges look like, and maybe even helping you out get them once the game is finally launched. So, that is everything that we learned today. I've got more videos coming tomorrow. I am exhausted. I hope you guys enjoyed Call of Duty Next. More coming soon. And also, if you want to check out the live gameplay, it is all up over on my second channel, link down below, and also after the video. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making